Um, what?
So amazing. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Ty Smith.
What is really on Pokeos and Pokeramas? I'm Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Model Renaissance Man. If you are someone that's been subscribed to my channel for a long time, double check to make sure that you are. But if you are fairly new to the channel, get an idea of what this channel is about. What do? Go to my channel, click on playlist. All these different things I do on this channel. See all these different thumbnails? Those are all different categories of things that I do on this channel, from comedy to cooking to DIY when it comes to fixing cars. There's a lot of things I do on this channel. So check the channel out in its entirety before you subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll find something on here that you like. What's going on, folks and Folkoramas? Make sure y'all do everything I told you to do in the beginning of this video. Appreciate you guys all being here, taking your time out of your day to listen to me talk about this subject. Also, don't forget, double check and make sure that you are subscribed. And all of you guys have something called a cell phone, right? In that cell phone, you have something called contacts. Let someone in the contact list, at least one person today, know about this channel. Also, you can find me on these other platforms that you see posted on here. And I'm also on Rumble as Ty Smith. No, I'm not. I'm on Rumble as Modern Renaissance Man Variety. And I'm also on, yeah, this is too much, Twitter. I keep on wanting to get X and Twitter mixed up. They're the same thing. I'm on Twitter or X as The Real Ty Smith. So you guys all see what was posted. And we can really get into it because this came across me this morning from some friends who thought that this was very interesting. At first, everybody just jumped in and assumed that, oh boy, New Hampshire did him like, all the other states are trying to do Donald Trump. But let's see. Anyway, let's bring it up with this magic. What we thought was going to be magic. Magic. There we go. And that's what it says right there. You guys can all see it. Why Biden won't be on the New Hampshire ballot. All right, so it says why Biden won't be on the ballot in New Hampshire. All eyes on Tuesday's first in the nation's New Hampshire primary, but President Biden won't be on the Granite State's Democratic ballot, even as he runs for a second term in 2024. His absence comes amid controversy between state and national Democrats over New Hampshire's place in the party's presidential nominating calendar, driven by a national Democratic desire to diversify an early voting electorate versus the state law. Here's what happened. DNC puts forth calendar shakeup. As part of a plan to reshuffle a long-standing party lineup, the Democratic National Committee, or DNC, set forth a new schedule that booted New Hampshire from its first place slot, moving up South Carolina's primary to kick off the voting process. The Biden-backed shakeup was intended to add more diversity to the party's calendar, boosting voices of color. Yeah. Y'all already know what I'm thinking. Boosting voices of color by putting more demographically diverse states earlier in the timeline. States that vote or caucus first, widely seen as key to the trajectory and the momentum of the cycle. Quote, too often over the past 50 years, candidates have dropped out or had their candidacies marginalized by the press and pundits because of poor performance in small states early in the process before voters of color cast a vote, Biden wrote in the 2022 letter to the DNC. But the plan drew the ear of New Hampshire Democrats. The DNC did not give New Hampshire the first in the nation primary, and it is theirs to take away. New Hampshire Democratic Party Chair Raymond Buckley said at that time, New Hampshire sticks to the first place status. Under the DNC plan, New Hampshire Democrats will cast ballots February the 6th, 3 days after South Carolina's February the 3rd. Democratic primary. You hear that? They will cast it February 6th, and 3 days after that, South Carolina is on February 3rd for the Democratic primary. The Granite State bucked that schedule, arguing state law requires its primaries be held at least 7 days before any other state. So New Hampshire Democrats will hold a first-in-the-nation contest January the 23rd, the same day as the Republican primary in the state. And in defiance of the DNC, roughly 2 weeks before the Palmetto State Democratic contest, this says, in quotes again, state law requires the New Hampshire Secretary of State to conduct the first in-nation primary, and he is going to follow the law, period. Nothing has changed, and we look forward to seeing a great Democratic voter turnout January 23rd, the state party told The Hill earlier this month. Biden doesn't file for primary ballot. After the New Hampshire move to hold the January primary, Biden decided not to file to put his name on the state's ballot. Yeah, Biden, it says, decided not to file, or the people that's running Biden, or Obama told him not to. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm messing with y'all, but y'all here. After New Hampshire's move to hold January primary, Biden decided not to file to put his name on the state's ballot. Biden was obligated to comply with the DNC rules and skipped the contest, wrote Julie Chavez Rodriguez, manager of Biden's re-election campaign, in a letter to Buckley back in October. The president looks forward to having his name on the New Hampshire's general election ballot as a nominee of the Democratic Party after officially securing the nomination at the 2024 DNC, where he will tirelessly campaign to earn every single vote in the granted state next November, Rodriguez said at that time. Biden is a Democratic frontrunner in New Hampshire and on the national stage, meaning his move not to file for the granted state isn't expected to impact him heavily. Though a strong showing from a Biden challenger could raise questions from the president's campaign, he's leading former President Trump, the GOP frontrunner, by 7 points in the hypothetical matchup in the state, according to the new Marist polling released Friday. The reality is that Joe Biden will win the New Hampshire primary in January, win re-nomination in Chicago, and will be re-elected next November. New Hampshire voters know and trust Joe Biden. That's why he's leading Trump in New Hampshire by double digits, Buckley said when Biden announced his plans. NH National Dems squabble over delegates. Earlier this month, after hearing that the New Hampshire Democratic Party intended to host the delegate selection process, DNC knocked the January 23rd primary as detrimental, arguing it cannot be used as the first determining stage of the state's delegate selection process. The NHDP must take steps to educate the public that January 23rd is a non-binding presidential preference event and is meaningless, and the NHDP and the presidential candidates should take all steps possible not to participate. Reads the letter to the DNC Rules Bylaws Committee, stressing that Tuesday primary should have no bearing on delegates for the party's national convention in the summer. New Hampshire Attorney General John Formella then issued a cease and desist order against the DNC, arguing that the national party must stop repeating the false, deceptive, and misleading statement claim that the primary is meaningless. Regardless of whether the DNC refuses to award delegates to the party's national convention based on the results of January 23rd, New Hampshire Democratic presidential primary election, this New Hampshire election is not meaningless, the letter reads. The state would normally have determined allocation of the state's 23 pledges delegates, but the DNC says there's 0 delegates up for grabs in Tuesday's contest. Says Biden supporters push right in campaign. Biden supporters in New Hampshire are planning to write incumbent names. He complies with the DNC guidance and he stay out of the unsanctioned Tuesday contest. The private grassroots effort of granted state Democrat and independents is gunning to make sure Biden still wins the state against self-help author Marianne Williamson and Democratic Rep. Dean Phillips. On the night of New Hampshire primary, the eyes of the world will turn to the very votes cast of the 2024 election, and it's important to show the world that thousands of New Hampshire voters are supporting Joe Biden, the Write-In Joe Biden campaign website read. So y'all heard all that good stuff, and do you think that this is just going to be something that pretty much now that it's out like this, you think that this is really going to be a big deal or is going to have any type of impact on what Joe Biden or House performance is going to be today? Me, personally, look, I set no expectation, therefore I won't be disappointed. Joe Biden was able to campaign in the basement this last election and not hardly leave and go talk and do anything, no live questions. He didn't hardly do any of it and still was able to pull off the most astronomical, most votes in the history. So what does this mean? I have no expectations, therefore I won't be disappointed. We will see how all this stuff pans out when it all comes down to it, folks. But at first glance, just like me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of folks were, that means Joe Biden can't. We shall see. What are you guys' thoughts on this? For those of you that are political mongos and you've been in this stuff all your life, what exactly does this mean? Whatever you think that it means, and you know what it means, leave it in the comment section. Educate a lot of us ignorant folks that don't know what any of this means, because a lot of folks might look at this and say, oh my God, Joe Biden's not on New Hampshire ballot. Trump's going to take that one. We shall see. Don't forget, folks, look in your cell phones and your contact list. If there's anybody in there that you know that would be fond of this channel, let them know about it, please. And make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel, because YouTube unsubscribe people from the channel. Trust me when I tell you. And for those of you that have jumped on board in the dollar tier in Patreon, there's been 40 of you. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for jumping on board and supporting the channel financially, all right? Really, really appreciate you. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus. What's going on, everybody? So, hey, check this out. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view these videos. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also right here is where you can catch the next video, the latest video that I've done. But like right up here, this is stuff that I've done kind of in the past. So in this area, you might find a video that I've done in the past. It can be funny, it can be something serious. It does not matter. But this is something that you can also do to check out more material that I do in my channel, because I do a lot in this channel, all right? So again, appreciate everything from you guys. Keep on watching it, keep on supporting it, and God bless you all.